Hey everyone, welcome back to Discover and Learn. I have 10 plus years of experience in HR and I help people in improving their communication skills, their business, English, soft skills, personality development, etc. to corporates and students. And I'm going to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently and to improve your communication skills with my experience. So stay tuned, stay connected and watch my entire video to master this skill. Well, today I'm going to talk about very interesting way of improving your English. So there are very common words which we use every day and we keep on using them. But today I'm going to tell you what alternatives you can use instead of these common words so as to sound more fluent, more confident and sound like a native speaker in English, or to take your English to the next level. These words are also very common, very simple to use. So I've picked up some very common words and I'm going to tell you their easy alternatives which you can use in your spoken English to sound more fluent, to take your English to the next level and sound more like a pro in English, right? And these are very easy words. The meaning is very easy. It is very easy to use and remember as well. These are also very common words. So let's begin. But before that, if you haven't subscribed my channel, guys, quickly subscribe my channel. Like and share my videos. Do write your comments in the comment section. And don't forget to press the notification icon so that you get all my videos on time, free of cost, and access to all the amazing content on this channel. Well, guys, at some point of time, we need to refresh our vocabulary, we refresh our spoken English or communication skills. We need to make our speeches more attractive, more appealing and sound more intelligent while speaking. How do we do that? It's very simple, guys. It's just that you need to just replace those boring, everyday, commonly used words with a little better version, with a little better words to sound more intelligent, to sound more like a pro in English. These words will take your English to the next level. Whenever somebody will hear you speak, they will immediately understand that your English is excellent or you speak good English. That will be the first thing which will come to their minds. So, taking a little effort in improving your vocabulary or working on this is definitely worth it. Give it a try and you'll get to know what difference it's going to make in your fluency journey. The first very common word we always say is I am hungry, right? I am hungry, or I want to eat something, or I'm feeling hungry. So we always use hungry, right? Instead of hungry, we can say starving. It will sound much better and your English will also sound amazing. So you can use starving. I'm starving instead of I'm hungry. So this is an advanced alternative to hungry, which is very easy to remember and understand and speak. I am starving. Next, we always talk about the results or outcome, effect or result or outcome. We always talk about these things, right? The result was not good or outcome was not up to the mark. We always use these words, right? So instead of using outcome, output, result or effect, we can use consequence. Consequence, right? It's very simple to use. Another word which we very commonly use is respectful or polite. Somebody was very respectful or somebody was very polite. We always say, right? The young man was very polite to me, or the waitress was very polite to me, or somebody was a very respectable person. So instead of using this respectful or polite, we can always say courteous. The waitress was very courteous. The salesman was very courteous, right? That person is very courteous. So and so is very courteous. Instead of saying respectful or polite towards somebody, or probably if we are defining his nature, so we can always say the person is very courteous. Okay, next one is we always say I'm very enthusiastic or excited to watch this movie or watch this play or go on a trip or for a picnic. We always say, oh, I'm very excited about my holiday plans, right? Instead of all these, we can always say I'm very eager to. Eager, we can use eager. I'm very eager to go on a vacation. I'm very eager to watch this movie. I'm very eager to play this game. So the same thing we can express with another word. We always say I'm very keen, I'm very enthusiastic, I'm very excited about something. So instead of that, we can always use eager also. Okay, which will sound more advanced, and these words are really used by native English speakers or people who speak good English. Okay, another word which very commonly we use is exceptional or remarkable. The event was remarkable or the event was exceptional. So exceptional or remarkable, instead of these two words, we can always use extraordinary. The event was extraordinary or he is an extraordinary person. We say he is a remarkable person. He's an exceptional person. Instead of that, we can always use extraordinary. Yeah. So guys, if you start using these words or taking note of these words and start collecting these words, it will really grow your vocabulary. You will be able to speak good English, better English, and you will be more confident about your spoken skills or spoken English, right? Because you will get hold of different sort of words, simple words, common words, advanced words. So you'll have a big collection of words which you can use. If you're describing something again and again, if you're using the same thing, it was exceptional, or it was remarkable, it doesn't sound good, right? The other person also starts feeling bored at times, like, every time the person is speaking the same word. So sometimes you can use remarkable, sometimes you can use extraordinary, sometimes you can use exceptional, right, to describe the same thing. And your English will not sound boring. It will sound very interesting and advanced. So start collecting these words. Another important word is dirty. We always use, my clothes are dirty, or this floor is so dirty, or this place is so dirty, I don't want to get inside it, right? You can say filthy. Filthy. Okay, my dress is filthy. I need to get it cleaned. Or this place is filthy. Instead of dirty, you can use filthy, which is very often spoken. Okay, these are not words which are rarely spoken. You will hear these words very often. People use it to sound good in English. Now, something is very unpleasant or cruel. We always say, this person is so cruel or is very unkind to animals or, anything else, to the poor. So we say this: unkind, cruel, unpleasant, right? Instead of these words, we can always say harsh, right? This is also a very common word. You must have heard it many times. People speak these words. So he was very harsh on the kid. He was very harsh the animals or anything else, whatever we want to express. So if something is unpleasant or unkind or cruel, so we can say harsh. The cruel realities, the harsh realities of life, right? Or the harsh realities of fashion world. We say all these things, right? So that is why you can use harsh. Harsh is a very common word and it takes your English to the next level. Another one is we always say I'm in trouble or I'm in difficulty or I have a problem or it's very discomforting. So we always say all these things. It's very discomforting or it's very difficult or it's very troublesome. So instead of using these words, we can say inconvenient. Inconvenient. Something is troubling us or something is very troublesome for us. We can say it's very inconvenient. I can't sleep on this pillow. It's very inconvenient. Or it's very difficult for me or it's very troublesome for me. We can always say it's very inconvenient for me. This situation is very inconvenient to get out of it, right? So you can always use inconvenient in spite of discomforting or troublesome or problematic or difficult. Another word is when we say, something is not in big quantity with us. If, for example, if we are cooking something and we say that, I don't have too much spices in the spice jar. So instead of saying I don't have too much oil or spices in my spice jar, I can say I have inadequate spices. Right? We can always say I have inadequate spices, which means not much. You have a little quantity of that particular thing. So you can always say inadequate. Another very common word is we always compare people and we always compare things and we say, oh, the child looks just like her mother. Or this girl, looks just like her mother. Or this girl just looks like her dad. We can always say identical. The boy and the mother looks identical. The boy and his mother looks identical, right? Or if we see something and we say that, these two things are the same. Or if we go on shopping and you see something and you say, oh, this dress is very similar to the one I bought last month. You can say this dress is identical to the dress which I bought last month, right? So like this, you can use this word identical. And the word is compulsory. We always say, no, this is compulsory. There are certain rules in offices which are compulsory to follow, or there are certain rules in schools which are compulsory to follow, or there's certain dress code which is compulsory. We always use this word compulsory. So instead of compulsory, we can always say mandatory. Mandatory. This dress code is mandatory, or this rule is mandatory for everybody. Okay, so this is how we can use mandatory in place of compulsory. Another word we always very frequently use is something in moderation. Like, we say, okay, just put a small quantity of salt or small quantity of sugar in my, tea or coffee or anything else. We always refer to small quantity, or we always say the weather is not that great today, or, it's not raining heavily. The wind is not very cold, or wind is not very hot, whatever, we say not cold, not hot. So we use these words. So instead of this, we can use moderate. It's raining moderately. The temperature outside is moderate, like not too hot, not too cold. So we can always use moderate, or I like moderate sugar and salt. Okay, this is how you can describe things by using moderate. Another one is competitor or contender. We always say, my competitor won the show, or I have a lot of competitors in the market, right? So we always say competitors or contenders. There's a lot of contenders for this tender. Okay, we always use these words. Instead of that, a very simple word is opponent, right? My opponent won the prize, or won the show, or whatever, won the competition. Or there are lots of opponents for this tender, or there are lots of opponents in the market in this business. So we can always use opponent, which is a very simple word. The last one I'm going to speak about is, we very frequently say this person is too straightforward, or this person is very frank, right? So instead of saying too direct or frank, we can always say this person is outspoken, right? If somebody is outspoken, if somebody is too frank or very straightforward, you can always say they are very outspoken. So this is also a very interesting word which you can use in spite of these very common general words, which might sound very boring at times. So replace these words with new counterparts or new words, and your English will sound much, much, much better. It will sound advanced, it will sound excellent, amazing, and it will take your English to the next level as well. So start collecting these words and start speaking it also. At times when we start speaking the same word again and again in our sentences, it sounds very boring to people. So instead of doing this, why can't we explore more words and start using them in our own sentences? So guys, that's it for today. I'll see you in my next session. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, keep watching, and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye and take care.